teased him.
I don't know.
I'd like to call this June 2nd, 2015 Board of Aldermen meeting to order. First item on the agenda would be a public hearing for the proposed rate increase of sewer services within and outside the corporate limits of the city of Warrenton, Missouri, political subdivision. Ms. Gabrielle Craig.
Good evening. I would like to make part of the public record the municipal code by reference and public hearing notice that was published in the Warren County Record on May 14th, 2015. The public hearing lists the current amounts for the minimum bill and the cost for anything over 1,000 gallons. For the in-town residential and Truesdale residential, the increase would be 49 cents. It's a 5% overall proposed increase. Does anyone have any questions?
Any questions from the board?
No, probably the comment to the public that just to emphasize that the rate increase is a 5% increase, and this is for what they call in the audit function a activity account, because it's water and sewer operations, which is distinguished from all the other things that the city does. So it's specific to that particular operation of the water and sewer department.
Did you encompass the proposed rate increase for use and consumption of water within and outside the city limits within that?
Okay, no.
Okay. Well, then we'll address the proposed rate increase for use and consumption of water within and outside the corporate limits of the city of Warrenton, Missouri, at a political subdivision.
All right.
Thank you.
I would like to make part of the public record the municipal code by reference and the public hearing notice that was published in the Warren County Record on May 14th, 2015. And again, 5% increase for these rates. So the increase for a minimum bill for in-town residential would be 30 cents for that one.
Any questions? All right, thank you very much.
Thank you.
I appreciate it. Yes, and that will bring the public hearing to a close, and we will be opening the regular Board of Aldermen meeting at this time. If you all would please rise. Alderman Dyer, please send the pledge of allegiance.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, next item on the agenda will be the approval of the regular board meeting minutes from May 19, 2015. I'll entertain a motion.
I make a motion that we approve the minutes from the May 19th, 2015 regular Board of Aldermen meeting minutes. Second.
Motion made by Alderperson Casterly, seconded by Alderperson Hawley. If I would, could you get a roll call vote, please?
Alderman Dreyer.
I abstain, I wasn't here.
Ward 2 is vacant. Alderman Holly.
Yes.
Alderperson Casterly.
Yes.
Alderman Ock.
Yes.
Alderman Deloy.
Yes.
Motion carries 4-0 with one abstain. Next item on the agenda with Alderman Law.
Sure. I'd like to see if Mr. Kelly can come up with me. I personally believe for a long time that what makes a community great is its neighborhoods. And I got involved in city politics many, many years ago because I was concerned that as the city of Warrenton grew and developed, that we would make changes that would impact the neighborhood that I lived in and the neighborhood on the other side that were affected by the Highway 47 growth. And it wasn't so much a concern about property values, it was concern about quality of life. And if you're on the council, we have a lot of work sessions where the discussion comes up about neighborhood improvement. And seems like a simple answer. What you do is you make a lot of ordinances, then you try to enforce them, and that creates some neighborhood improvement. But the reality is that the core of neighborhood improvement is the participation of the citizens in the neighborhood, because they have the investment and it's their work that does this. And so, you know, in a lot of ways, we all participate in neighborhood improvement. I mean, if you live in a community and there's things as simple as litter that was thrown out of a car that's laying in the road in front of your house, you pick it up, or if there's a glass that goes in the road, you go over and you sweep it up. And if you live in the same neighborhood that Mr. Kelly and I do, your participation in neighborhood improvement is the road ditches that border your property. You know, everybody cuts them. It's not our property, but it's the neighborhood's property. We take pride in that. And so the other day I was out there cutting the grass a few Saturdays ago, and I looked over and I saw this gentleman with a push mower cutting grass around the walk bridge. And I thought, well, that's certainly unusual, you know, that somebody would be doing that. And it was kind of unusual in two senses. One is the walk bridge is nowhere near Mr. Kelly's home. And so he was cutting grass across the road 4 or 5 houses from where he lives. And then the other thing that was quite unusual about it, not only was he cutting the grass by the walk bridge, but he was cutting the grass all the way down to the city limit side with Truesdale, which is a little less than a half a mile, or a fourth of a mile. And I thought, wow, that's really something that's very unique. And it's important, and the reason why it's important is really twofold. One is it creates neighborhood improvement, it makes the neighborhood look better, but there's also a safety issue here. Wabash Street, which is the road I'm talking about, has no sidewalk. So if you're a kid riding a bike or you're an adult pushing a stroller, if a car comes down Wabash, you're forced to go into the area and Mr. Kelly is cutting. So there is a safety element to that. So I went across the street to acknowledge what he was doing, and I said, why are you doing this? And he very, you know, it's a golden opportunity to bash the city, and he did that. But he said, this is just what I do, and I've been doing it for 4 years on a regular basis. I come over here and cut the grass. And I thought, wow. And I think we all agree that we all like to work in neighborhood improvement, but we don't take the step to go to the point of cutting almost a quarter of a mile of road ditch that's on your property. So I thought it was important to invite him down and to thank him for what he's doing, and to acknowledge him by giving him a certificate. The certificate reads, Certificate of Appreciation awarded to Donald Kelling, whose actions exemplify outstanding care for his community and his neighborhood, presented by the city of Warrenton. So thank you for what you do, and greatly appreciate it. Thank you. Mr. Kelling has always been active in the city. A number of years ago, when Fayette Paul was the mayor, and people don't remember that.
Yes, I remember.
Because we were all younger then, right?
Two.
Mr. Kelling served on the zoning board for the city for a number of years. Thank you for what you do and what you have done.
Thank you, Gail.
It's much better picture. Well, just photography.
He's awfully bossy, isn't he? I can't wait to see what's his name for this. Make Rocky do the same thing?
Yeah.
Next item on the agenda is just a simple thanks from the city of Warrenton to not only our law enforcement, but area law enforcement as well. As you all know and have heard in the paper and read, on April 14, 2015, we did a collaborative effort, and we're able to take 5 pounds of crystal meth off the street. And I think that's a significant thing that we need to recognize all the law enforcement for, not only because sometimes it's a thankless job, but because that is one of the largest amounts that we've ever taken on the street. So I think that's something we should be very proud of, that our people are following up on investigations and getting that off for the safety of the people here. So if I could have everybody come up, I'll recognize you guys come on.
I knew you would like it.
So represented here, obviously, the dog will probably take the center point, with Izzy and Warrant Sergeant Emmett Warren, and he's part of the Warren County Sheriff's Department. Here with him is also Sheriff Kevin Harrison with the Warren County Sheriff's Department. We also have representative of the East Central Drug Task Force, I knew I had to speak it up, but it right, would be Chief Susan Marcus, correct? So thank you for showing up and being representative. We also have with the Warrenton Police Department, Officer Tony Tweed, Officer Bonnie Roberts, Officer Detective Brandon Weber, and Sergeant Matt Mosier, and then Chief Johnny Shell. So we'll present one to each one, and thank you guys as we do that. I'll take appreciation for that, and I appreciate it.
Not really.
We might get out of the picture.
He acts the same way, buddy.
Wow. He's advocating for the dog.
Yes, he say dog park.
So what I will say on this is I promised an individual I'd make it short and sweet, and I think there's a special night. So guys, once again, thank you. I appreciate it for everything you guys do.
I got it wound up.
Thank you very much.
Aren't they gonna stay and protect us?
No, you're stuck with me.
Oh, yeah. Please, come back.
She just wants the dog to stay.
Yep, all right. Oh, he doesn't want to take it with him. Should have got some jerky.
Next item on the agenda will be hearing from the public. We ask that you keep your comments at a 5-minute minimum, but please step up to the podium if you have anything to share.
Okay.
Next item on the agenda would be board from the Aldermen, or Board of Aldermen comment.
You want to tell people you got a cold,
Yeah,
that's why you're
guys,
not
I'm just getting
thinking.
over 6 and my head is really swimming right now. So I'm trying to keep it together. I apologize if I sound a little loopy, so. Any comments from the Board of Aldermen? You've done that? All right, I appreciate it. Mayor's comments. I'm going to keep it very brief, but I know we've received varied opinions, but I really appreciate the response and how our police department worked with the fire department with the issue at the post office. And it's just good, once again, to see different agencies from around here or different departments working together to try and rectify a situation quickly and safely. And I do appreciate that, but really that's what I'm going to keep my comments down to. So, next item on the agenda would be the industrial pretreatment ordinance. Mr. John Kremer, is it Kremer?
I'm John Kramer,
All
thank
right,
you.
Thank you.
Board, it's good to be back and to see you all. Tonight, we're going to talk a little bit about the industrial pretreatment ordinance. And it's only 47 pages. What I wanted to tell you, the reason for it is we have our wastewater treatment plant is a biological process. Does wonderful treating domestic wastewater. from residential, you know what I mean? So when it does not do so well with extra strength or industrial type waste. So we have in our in your code of ordinances under section 7 is your 700 is your sewer use ordinance that does a real good job of establishing what strengths and parameters that we can take into the plant. Anybody above that is not supposed to discharge, but is supposed to have a pre-treatment prior to discharging to us. This is a requirement from when our permit was renewed earlier this year. We had to promulgate, it was last year, but we had to promulgate this ordinance. We have done so. The ordinance is modeled after the EPA's suggestions, and both staff and the city attorney have reviewed it. Very basically, it provides the city the authority to issue permits to industrial concerns. Those permits would establish the parameters that they have to treat their waste to before they can discharge it to us. The parameters and the permit itself would be set up very much like our permit with the state of Missouri to discharge, except that we have a whole lot more conditions on us than the industries will have on them. You may ask how do we know if an industry is, what they're discharging? Back when Guy first got here, he went to and delivered this industrial use questionnaire to every non-residential entity in town, and we only have 2 that fall into the situation where they need to pre-treat, where their waste is too strong for us to take. That being Coca-Cola and currently the soy sauce manufacturer. They are currently constructing their pretreatment facilities, guys. They're almost done.
That's correct.
So we will, this ordinance gives us the authority to issue the permit, to establish the parameters of that permit. It sets up monitoring conditions and reporting conditions that they report to us on their performance of their plant. So there are also sections in here about general penalties if they don't. So it's the same kind of authority that the state has on us, we now would have on our industrial users. So I know that's very quick. Does anybody have any questions?
So built, and this isn't your question, but built in to our rate structure, is there consideration for fees relative to people who are pre-treating but don't get it right, or pre-treating and can't get it there, so there's a penalty?
There's a penalty to them if they're out of compliance.
What's that based on? Some kind of, I mean, so what happens if they send me something that's not pre-treated properly? Now, I have it in my plant, and if I discharge it, as it is, then I probably have a problem with the state. So there's an additional cost for me to pre-treat that stuff when it gets to me.
Yes.
But is the penalty sufficient to cover the extra costs?
They would be, and that depends again, they could be charged up to every penny we would have to pay to treat their additional waste under the extra strength rules of your current ordinance, okay, and made even stronger by the industrial waste ordinance.
Okay. Do we then go ahead and, they self-monitor, but do we also double check behind
We
them?
have.
How do you know you've got stuff coming through that's not properly treated until it's already there?
Good question. They'll be required to, like I said, they'll monitor and we'll receive reports on them monthly.
Okay.
Each of these facilities will have a sampling manhole that the city has access to. That manhole is where they'll take their samples and where we could come in and take a sample and do a check run. So we can check their results. If, say, for example, they say, hey, we've got nothing wrong, but we're having trouble at the plant, then it's time for us to come up here and grab a sample and see if their reporting is correct or if there's a problem with their process.
So do we do an audit function of those samplings on a periodic basis, or do we just go in and sample ourselves if there's an issue?
We do Coca-Cola once a month.
So we're doing it ourselves?
We're already doing that. We're grabbing
We do
our
a check
samples and that.
sample once a
Okay,
month.
all right. So is the soy sauce company, is that plant not up and going?
That's not up and running yet. They're, I think they're almost done. They called me yesterday, and he wants to schedule a meeting for the final plan that he has. But it's up, it's built, it's ready to go on the wastewater side of it.
So as we talk about bringing businesses into the community, industrial businesses, I assume this ordinance is no different than what they would see if they were going anywhere.
Anywhere.
Anyway, so this just brings us up to what everybody else is doing.
We're up to par,
Okay.
and we're in compliance with EPA and DNR, so, by passing this.
And there, just to let you guys know, there is a bill there.
Right, I know. And our legal counsel has thoroughly reviewed all 40 pages.
Yeah, oh yeah, we actually rewrote a portion of it, a great deal of it with Guy and myself and Terry, and it took some time to get through, but to make sure that we could, Warrenton's unique in that it's a municipal utility. There was some things we could and some things more we could do and some things less we did, but really, obviously seeking the goal to induce people to remain in compliance and stay in compliance.
I don't have any other.
And this will not affect Coca-Cola on their pre-treatment. They're way below the limits anyway. I mean, it's not like it's going to be a big surprise for them. And we'll have a meeting with them and Yibo.
They have been, Coca-Cola has been actually reporting voluntarily in a fashion very similar that would be required by this ordinance. So it's going to be no surprise, but we'll coordinate with them, cooperate with them as well.
And this isn't the type of thing where the soy company would go, wow, how do we know this? We wouldn't have come into the community. This
No,
is-
we've been talking to them for over a year,
Right.
so, yeah, they knew.
Okay.
Thank you.
Appreciate it, thank you. Next item on the agenda will be the approval for park alcoholic beverage permit for concerts in the park for June 11th, June 9th, August 13th, September 17th of 2015 at Dyer Park. And that they have would be Mike Shawarby. Do you, anything you'd like to present or say to the board?
Yes, good evening. The Tourism Commission, and I don't know if we've done this in the past. I think we may have, but we just wanted to make sure that through a newspaper article and on the website and everything, that people are aware, because we still have, I guess, some people don't think they're allowed to have alcohol at the events, and I think you hit all the September 17th. Is that okay? Yeah, that's the one that's not part of the arts, Warren County Fine Arts Council schedule, but that's one that the Warrenton Park Board is doing on its own. But yeah, if we could just have something to let people know via the website or the newspaper, that because a lot of people do bring a bottle of wine or a cooler with a few beers in it. It's only a 2-hour event, so it's not like a long party where they're going to get I think overindulge. Maybe some people can in that short of time, but anyway, we would just like the city to do that. Also, just to let you know, along with the tourism, what we're doing. These are the posters that will be all over 3 counties for the events. And then also we have these tear pads. We started this last year. And we put these each month. This is like the June version. Then we have a July version and an August version. And it gives the Warrenton, Wright City, and Marthasville event, the date, the time, and everything. And we put them at the hotels. We'll have them down here at City Hall. We put them at some of the local business establishments, the banks. We even have the pizza parlors, Emo's, Domino's, what's the other one there? Papa John's. And they put them on their go, like when they have a go pizza, they'll tape these on there. We usually give them to them, make sure they have them the week before the event. So we're trying to, again, do as much as we can to promote the event and make them more successful than they have been in the past. So,
I think the chair pin is a great idea.
Are you going to give us one of those?
one of the posters?
Yeah.
I can.
Do we need a motion?
We do?
Can I ask a question quick?
You got it.
So this is your application, does that mean the park board is responsible for monitoring, or? Because usually isn't the applicant responsible for monitoring the alcohol going on or not? How does that work, or does it work in conjunction with, the police have extra officers there to monitor? I mean, the place most alcohol is served obviously is the fair, and there's always an abundance of police officers from the city and the county there, but how does this happen?
Well, I know in the past, like at the end of the event, they usually, there's usually one of the patrolmen is there.
Okay.
Now, does he walk through the crowd? No. But, I don't know that we have a need for that. We've never, how many years have we been doing, we've never had anybody, we've never had any problems with it or anything like that. I think this is more or less just a thing to let people feel comfortable that they can do it. Because there are some people that still, they'll say, oh, you can bring a cooler, or you can bring some wine. They're unaware of it. And as far as, I don't know, the legality thing of it and everything, it's just, some of the cities don't have, we have, I think, that we prohibit consumption of alcohol in the parks. Some of the other cities, they don't have that, so it's not an issue. And I think it's just kind of a courtesy thing, or call it what you will, but
Chief, you're not aware of any, Chief, you're not aware of any calls or anything? I mean, I know it would take some looking up, but off the top of your head, I haven't heard of any either, so, would anybody be belligerent or anything else?
I'd like to make a motion that we approve the alcohol beverage permit for concerts in the park for June 11th, July 9th, August 13th, and September 17th at Dyer Park.
Second.
Alderman Dillaway?
Thank you.
Motion made by Alderperson Casterly and seconded by Alderman Delloy to approve the park alcoholic beverage permit for the concerts in the park June 11th, 9th, August 13th, September 17th, July 9th, August 13th, September 17th, 2015 at Dyer Park. Can I have a roll call vote, please?
Alderman Holly?
Yes.
Alderperson Casterly?
Yes.
Alderman Ock?
Yes.
Alderman Deloy,
Yes.
Alderman Dreyer?
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. Next item on the agenda would be the liquor license renewals for 2015 and 2016.
Is it my understanding that these rates are dictated by the state? And for the most part, you really can't deny anybody the license, or it's very difficult if you were to do that.
There's some parameters, but typically if they pass the state, we pretty much, follow that. It would be more of an issue if there was like some local behavioral issues with the bar. I think we've had to threaten one or two times liquor licenses, but it's never really been something in Warrenton we've had to deal with, revoking them.
There's a concern with that Jim Cobb.
I would. He's a heavy drinker.
I would make a motion that we approve the liquor licenses presented by the city.
Second.
Motion made by Alderman Ock, seconded by Alderperson Casterly to approve the following list of liquor license renewals for 2015 to 2016, totaling a total of $9,900. Have a roll call vote, please.
Alderperson Casterly?
Yes.
Alderman Ock?
Yes.
Alderman Deloy,
Yes.
Alderman Dreyer?
Yes.
Alderman Holly?
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. Next item on the agenda would be hearing from our Public Works Director, Guy Jeevers.
I have one item for you tonight. Requires no money. Our supervised program for our water, we renewed it and we submitted it to DNR. And DNR wanted in our codes saying a minimum of 8-inch water main for PVC pipe and ductile iron. So we're just adding that wording to the Appendix B. That's, when we sent it in, that was one of the requirements, and I just need to get this so we can put it in our code and then send a copy to them.
Just specify there will be a bill later on this matter, so if you have questions, please ask now, but there will be a bill later to be voted on.
Won't touch my pen.
Anybody have any questions?
Sounds like it does his.
Guy, I think you're getting off easy tonight.
Thank you.
No question.
Yeah, I think we're getting off easy.
I'm telling you. Next item on the agenda would be our Director of Operations and Finance Officer, Terry Thorne.
My first item for you this evening is the drawing for the pool pass. This is something that those people responding to the comprehensive plan survey could register for upon completing that survey. We had 554 responses to the comprehensive plan survey, and of that, there were 46 individuals who entered for the pool pass drawing. So we'd like to draw the name for that free family pool pass this evening.
Just to specify that the free family pool pass basically encompasses one free family pool pass for the season, our 2015 season, and a family pool pass includes 2 adults, 2 children. This pass is only valid for the 2015 season and is not redeemable for cash. So,
Very good.
Hope it warms up.
Chief, your wife's name's on it.
It's just nice.
Just wanted to make sure. Be Lori Wenzel.
Very good.
All right, we'll set that
We will
aside.
contact them tomorrow and let them know that they won the pool pass, and we certainly thank everyone who responded and completed the survey for the comprehensive plan.
We do appreciate that very much because the input is greatly appreciated.
Absolutely. My next item for you this evening is the results of the Tourism Commission meeting on May 26th. There were 2 requests. The first was from the City of Warrenton for $16,711.56, which was the event coordinator reimbursement. This is half of the event coordinator's salary. It actually came in under budget. The budget was $19,700. The second item was a request from the farmer's market for $300, which was reusable shopping bags that they will provide to customers here at our Warrenton Farmers Market on Customer Appreciation Day on July 21st. That amount was $300. Total request was $17,011.56.
I'll entertain a motion to approve the tourism recommendations in the amount of $17,011.56.
So moved.
Second.
A little curious, does the bag say Warrenton on it, or Farmers Market?
Yes, I believe it
Because the
does.
examples don't do that, or they reference it.
I believe it does say Farmers Market Warrenton,
Great.
or Warrenton Farmers Market, I'm not sure which.
Right.
All right. Motion made by Alderperson Hawley and seconded by Alderman Dreyer for the approval of the tourism recommendations in the amount of $17,011.56. Can I get a roll call vote, please?
Alderman Ock?
Yes.
Alderman Deloy,
Yes.
Alderman Dreyer?
Yes.
Alderman Holly?
Yes.
Alderperson Casterly?
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0.
My next item is a request for approval to renew the cleaning contract with Crystalline Cleaning. They have been our cleaning company now over the last year. We've struggled over the past years with finding a cleaning company and maintaining one that provided adequate service to the city. They've agreed to renew their contract with a 5% increase for the upcoming fiscal year, and have also committed to a 3-year period if we so desire, with no increase on the second period and a maximum of a 5% increase for the 3rd-year period. I think this is a positive for the city, as I said, because we've struggled with this contract in the past, to be able to keep our city building actually clean to the level that we would want it, and to have good service, and them be responsive. And we've had all of that from this local company.
All right, I'll entertain a motion to approve to renew the cleaning contract for a 3-year period with Crystalline Cleaning Company.
Can we bind the boards for 3 years?
The contract is written, as Chris has put it together for us, as a 1-year period with an automatic renewal.
Okay.
So we have that option to do it. We certainly could not renew next year if we chose to do it.
Okay.
I'll make a motion that we approve the Crystalline Cleaning Company contract with the 5% rate increase for the July 1 to June 30th, 15 to 16-year time period.
Second.
Motion made by Alderperson Kessler, seconded by Alderman Deloy. Can I have a roll call vote, please?
Alderman Deloy,
Yes.
Alderman Dreyer,
Yes.
Alderman Holly,
Yes.
Alderperson Kessler,
Yes.
Alderman Ock.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0.
And I have 2 updates for you. One is in relation to the bike event that came through the city. The Vino Fondo bike ride had 101 riders that came through. Of those, 90% actually stopped, and what Jessica said was the top 10% never stop. They're the people who are the professional, they just keep moving bike riders. They had bikers here from 10:30 to 1 o'clock. She certainly wanted to thank Greg, the officers who were at Highway 47 and assisted with getting those bikers safely through that intersection. She feels like this was very positive for us in developing a really good relationship with this Big Shark bicycle company who is involved, as well as the people from this particular organization. So the plan is to continue to support that effort in upcoming years with the stop here at City Hall and whatever other support that we can provide them. So it was a very positive effort on Jessica's part, with very little cost, if any, to the city, but some very positive public relations with that group. So that worked out very well. The other thing is just to give you a heads up that the fall and winter version of the newsletter is upcoming. Jessica would like to have your articles no later than July 20th. So those, if you can start working on those and putting those together, then we will see our fall and winter edition of the newsletter.
When does that actually get published?
I can't answer that. I want to say that she will start putting the articles together, send it out to the graphic designer to do the front and the back, and then send it over to where it gets copied and all of those things. I think we should see it late in the fall.
See, the due date is July 20th or June 20th?
July 20th. So you have some time.
So if like Karen doesn't want to write an article, I get her space?
No.
Just a question.
That was easy.
Next item on the agenda would be,
Put your picture.
would be the, speaking with Finance Manager Gabrielle Curry.
Right, the first item is the accounts payable for May. In this amount is the debt service for the revenue bonds, which was $432,000. And we also had some grinding and overlaying and engineering for the Phase 1 treatment plant. So the amount this month is, and I'm requesting approval for, is $837,695.60.
60 cents.
Yeah. Any questions? I'll entertain a motion for the approval of accounts payable in the amount of $837,495.60.
It's 695.
Is it 695? What did I say?
495.
Oh, I had 600 written down. My apologies.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made by Alderperson Casterly, seconded by Alderperson Holly. Can I have a roll call vote, please?
Alderman Dreyer?
Yes.
Alderman Holly?
Yes.
Alderperson Casterly?
Yes.
Alderman Ock?
Yes.
Alderman Deloy.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. I'm going to apologize again, seriously. Next on the agenda would be explanation of lodging ordinance.
Yes. The ordinance will be, there's a bill on later for approval. So just wanted to go through the ordinance and answer any questions you guys had before the approval piece. So in the ordinance, this is for retirement benefits for the general employees and police officers. And this would be the benefit program L1, which is 1% of the life allowance. Included is 100% of the prior employment, which is what is considered as prior service when calculating the benefits and contributions. Eligible employees would work 1,500 hours a year, which is about 29 hours a week. The final average salary is determined over a 60-month consecutive period, which is used to calculate benefits. And then also included is the employee contribution piece, which is 4% of the gross salary and wages. And the minimum service retirement age for this program is 60 years old for general employees and 55 years old for police officers. And then this program would commence on the first day of August 2015. This was changed from July 1st because there are some notifications that were required for the current provider, and we weren't guaranteed that those would be in place by July 1st. So we changed the date to August 1st to allow more time for the paperwork. Does anyone have any questions about this?
I think for the purposes of the public, this is a change of the pension system for the city employees, which actually it's an improvement. And I think the total cost impact on the budget is around $33,496.
Correct.
It's the impact of this.
All right.
Okay, the next topic I have is just a reminder that we have the budget work session scheduled for June 9th at 5:30.
I appreciate it.
All right, thank you.
Next on the agenda is our Economic Development Director, Michelle Swinford.
Good evening. What I have for you tonight is the Economic Development Report update. And with that, I would like to say thank you very much for sending me to the International Council of Shopping Centers Convention, RECon in Las Vegas. There was approximately 35,000 individuals there. I was able to meet with a lot of retailers and learned a lot about what they're really looking for in our community, made some really good contacts. Actually have sent information to one real estate agent who is working possibly with a chain. So we may be getting at least one, if not two things right away out of the gun that came from that. It was very, very eye-opening, a very great experience, and was able to reach and talk to a lot of individuals while I was there.
Well, I just appreciate the fact that not everything that happens in Vegas stayed in Vegas. You brought it back, so thank you.
Did you have an opportunity to meet with the owners of the?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
And one of the things that they really stressed is that they hear a lot from people when they're talking to them is what's going on with the interchange. That seems to be a big thing for retailers wanting to go out there because as people shop, they want convenience, and getting on and off the highway is a convenience factor for them. But they are working. They are looking to try and get it filled. It will not be an outlet center. As a matter of fact, they've actually, a lot of the signs drop outlet, so it just says Warrenton Center on it. Probably be more of like a lifestyle center, but they are working and trying to market the center. They actually met with some individuals there in reference to our center. So hopefully we'll start seeing some movement on the center.
Any other questions? All right, with that, we'll move on to the next item on the agenda, which would be bills and ordinance. So I will entertain a motion for the first reading of bill number 1515.
Call for the first reading of bill number 1515.
Second.
Motion made by Alderperson Hawley, seconded by Alderperson Casterly.
An ordinance by the City of Warrenton adopting a Missouri local government employee retirement system.
I'll entertain a motion for the second reading and passage of bill number 1515.
Call for a second final reading of bill number 1515.
Second. Motion made by Alderman Dreyer, seconded by Alderman Ock for the second reading and passage of bill number 1515.
An ordinance by the City of Warrenton adopting a Missouri local government employees retirement system.
Can I have a roll call vote, please?
Alderman Holly?
Yes.
Alderperson Casterly?
Yes.
Alderman Ock?
Yes.
Alderman Deloy,
Yes.
Alderman Dreyer?
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. All right, second item on the agenda would be the bill number 1615. I'll entertain a motion for the first reading of that bill.
Call for the first reading of bill number 16-15.
Second.
Motion made by Alderperson Hawley, seconded by Alderperson Casterly for the first reading of bill number 1615.
An ordinance amending Appendix B, water main supply piping valves and fittings, subsection C1, water main of the Municipal Code of the City of Warrenton, Missouri.
I'll entertain a motion for the second reading and passage of bill number 1615.
Call for a second reading of bill number 1615 and passage. My brains ain't working.
Neither's
He's
mine.
got a cold,
We're in the
too.
same boat.
Second.
Motion made by Alderman Dreyer, seconded by Alderperson Casterly for the second reading and passage of bill number 1615.
An ordinance amending Appendix B, water main supply piping valves and fittings, subsection C1, water main of the Municipal Code of the City of Warrenton, Missouri.
Have a roll call vote, please.
Alderperson Casterly?
Yes.
Alderman Ock?
Yes.
Alderman Deloy,
Yes.
Alderman Dreyer?
Yes.
Alderman Holly? Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. Next item on the agenda will be bill number 1715, and I'll entertain a motion for the first reading of bill number 1715.
Call for the first reading of bill number 17-15.
Second. Motion made by Alderperson Hawley, seconded by Alderman Hawk.
City of Warrenton Industrial Pretreatment Ordinance.
I'll entertain a motion for the second reading and passage of bill number 1715.
Call for a second final reading and passage of bill number 1715.
Second. Motion made by Alderman Dreyer, seconded by Alderman Ock for the second reading and passage of bill number 1715.
City of Warrenton Industrial Pretreatment Ordinance.
And can I have a roll call vote, please?
Alderman Ock?
Yes.
Alderman Deloy,
Yes.
Alderman Dreyer?
Yes.
Alderman Holly? Yes. Alderperson Casterly?
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0, bill passes. Entertain a motion for adjournment.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. We are so adjourned.